We will now make a drawing of this cylinder, and I will change the camera angle to top front right and fit scene. Then we will select the cylinder, and the easiest way to select the cylinder in an assembly is to press and hold the control key and then left click the part, so now it is selected in part level. So we're going to save this cylinder to the hard drive, so I come up here, save as part, and it will have the name cylinder. Make sure that link to a current scene is also selected. Click save, and now if we open or expand this Stirling engine, we see that there is a link here, and if you expand the cylinder you will find the path to the hard drive where the cylinder is saved. So now we are ready to create a drawing. So I come up here to select or click this button, template button, and here I will select A4P part, double click it, and here in this view creation window we go to browse, select the cylinder, double click, and we make sure that this mounting flange is at the bottom. When it is, we click the down arrow so that the cooling fins is pointing toward us. We need only one view. We see that front view or front is already selected because we are going to create a section view of the cylinder. So we need only one view. And then I use auto scale, click OK. And we see that this view is too large for the drawing sheet. So we have to make it smaller. And we can do that by using the arrow keys. Perhaps you remember that in the last video we changed the size of the view or the scale of the view by using the arrow keys after we have placed the views on the drawing sheet. But you can change the scale here when we see the preview by using the arrow keys. So in this case I can press the down arrow and change the scale. So I think this size will be fine, so I will place it here. Then when I select the view, come over to the properties, we see that the scale is 2:1. But here in the title block the scale is 4:1. So why is that? Well, that's because when I clicked OK in the view creation window, this scale was set to 4:1. That's why the size of the view was so large. So when I then use the arrow key to change the scale, it was set to 2:1. That's what we see here in the properties. So we have to change this scale 4:1 so it will have the same scale as in the properties and what you see in on the drawing sheet. To do that there are a couple of ways. One way is to come over to the properties here, select one scale and then go back to 2:1, or you use the arrow keys, make sure that you click on this view, and then you can use, for instance, the down arrow and then the up arrow to go back, and now you have the right scale here, 2:1. Next is to add center marks, so I will come up here to pick center mark and add them here, like so, and then I press escape or click OK here in the properties. Then I will shorten these lines a little bit, like so. Then we are going to create a section view of this cylinder. So if I select the view here, come over to the properties, we see under actions we have section view here, but you find it up here as well. So I will click this button. We come over to the properties. Here we have some options. In this case we will choose between horizontal and vertical, but we'll use a horizontal section line. So if we come over to the view here, we try to find a point to snap to here. If you don't find a point to snap to, you can use, in this case, the circle to click to add the section line. If I click here, the section line will be placed in the center of the cylinder. Then I grab this endpoint drag it outside the outline and do the same here. And if we go over to the properties, we have this button, flip direction. Now we see that the arrows is pointing upward, and that's good, but here you can flip the direction of the arrows. But you will see that when we click OK, we can change the direction by just moving the section view. Then we have this stagger section line. Let's say that I want the section line to go through that hole. I can do that by using the stagger section line. So I click this button, click this hole, and the section line will go through that hole here. And then I grab this node and snap it to the center line. So if I were to click OK, I would have a section view that goes through this part of the cylinder and through this part of the cylinder. But I can also remove this stagger by selecting first the node and then click delete stagger. So now I have a straight section line. So now I click OK, and we have the section view. So now if I move the section view below the section line, the arrows will flip direction. So it will flip automatically. Then I move up here and place the section view up here. Then I will add a section line, so I come up here to, or a center line. I will click the center line here, hover the cursor over this area, and IronCAD, notice that this is a hole, so here you can place the center line. So I click here. Then I click OK up here in the properties. I will shorten this line a little bit as well, like so. Then I come down here, select this center mark, and I will grab this endpoint, drag it to the center. I will do the same with the other side, so that there will be only one line that goes through the center of the cylinder, and that's the section line. Then I come down here to click Fit Sheet, like so. And then I will save the drawing, come up here to click Save, and it will have the name cylinder. And then I click Save here. And then we will continue in the next video.